Welcome back, friends. You are listening to the Juicebox Podcast. Managing diabetes is difficult, but trying to do it when you don't understand the lingo, that's almost impossible. The Defining Diabetes series began in 2019, and today we're adding to it. Go to juiceboxpodcast.com. Up in the menu, click on Defining Diabetes, and you'll see a complete list of all the terms that we've defined so far. If you're new to type 1 diabetes, begin with the Bold Beginnings series from the podcast. Don't take my word for it. Listen to what reviewers have said. Bold Beginnings is the best first step. I learned more in those episodes than anywhere else. This is when everything finally clicked. People say it takes the stress out of the early days and replaces it with clarity. They tell me this should come with the diagnosis packet that I got at the hospital. And after they listen, they recommend it to everyone who's struggling. It's straightforward, practical, and easy to listen to. Bold Beginnings gives you the basics in a way that actually makes sense. While you're listening, please remember that nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan or becoming bold with insulin. Jenny, can we define SWAG, please?
Oh, that's a fun one. I've heard as an acronym, which is what it is, right? I've heard people say different words for the letters of the acronym.
Yep.
I have always, eons ago, when it sort of first came into my vernacular, it has always been scientific wide ass guess.
Scientific wide?
Scientific wide ass guess. Like you are totally estimating, you're guessing, you're looking at that plate and you're like, I don't know, 45 grams of carb.
This one it's interesting because we do have a small sips episode about this where we actually break down like dozens of different meanings that people have, but it doesn't exist in the Defining series. So people have been asking for me to put it here. I think the way you hear it, the way you've heard it over and over again, it is interesting. It makes you realize that other people have heard it a different way. I've always heard scientific wild ass guess. But there are no end of options. We just want you to understand that when you see it online, when somebody's saying, oh, I swagged that meal, they just mean I looked at it and I guessed the carbs.
Entirely. It's a guess. SWAG in general, despite it having words to the letters, it is just equal to I guess. And I guessed like it was a guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. That looks like 120. Right. You're like, you're at the Cinnabon and you're like, I don't know.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Although the funny thing about it, I think with enough time with diabetes, even your SWAG
it's good.
Becomes pretty accurate, right? I mean, it's not like 100 gram difference. It might be 20 grams off.
Right.
But that's pretty darn close when you're considering.
I think it's just a fun thing that people have been saying forever and ever to get across to the person they're talking to. Like, I had no idea how many carbs were in this. I really just pulled this number,
right,
straight out of my butt.
I think it's fun when people also, this is where I like to see people post pictures. And it does give, especially when they've like achieved like, this was a total SWAG and they see this like lovely looking, blood sugar result and it totally worked. And that's why I said before, it's like a lot of that SWAG is historical information kind of coming together in your brain to be able to actually pinpoint a number to start at guessing with.
Yeah.
So
I found in the beginning that when I was guessing and then Arden would have higher blood sugars, I started, you've heard me say like use more insulin. Probably a million times. Like I started guessing heavier. And then it was funny what it taught me, honestly. Like, I thought this was the impact of 50 carbs. It is funny. I don't even think about it as 50 carbs anymore. I think of it as the impact of an idea. And it wasn't, right? Because she's still 170 when it's over. So I corrected down from 170. And the next time I guessed that same thing, I was like, well, last time it was, I put 50 carbs in and I ended up correcting another unit. So let's just throw that unit into the bolus this time. It got me somewhere,
And is that more, I think it's a good place to, even within SWAG, where do people often SWAG? A restaurant.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Or a meal out at, grandma's house, or a cookout or something like that, where there really isn't a bag or a package, or there's just not time. And they're like, I don't know. It looks like this. Right?
Yeah.
But I think, in that realm, it's a good thing to say that most people, if they're going to undercount, it ends up being in an environment where there isn't information. And there's still that feeling of cautious estimation.
Yes.
So restaurants are commonly undercounted by, a fair percent. It could be 10 to 25% that you're undercounting by, with that little like subconscious hint of, I don't know, I'll be a little cautious.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to find out in the car on the way home that I overestimated this.
Right.
Kind of an idea. Yeah. So if you're listening, and you feel like, oh no, I'm always guessing, I don't know. I hope it's comforting to know that that's what everybody's doing. So yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, here we are at the end of the episode. You're still with me? Thank you. I really do appreciate that. What else could you do for me? Why don't you tell a friend about the show, or leave a 5-star review? Maybe you could make sure you're following or subscribed in your podcast app. Go to YouTube and follow me, or Instagram, TikTok. Oh gosh, here's one. Make sure you're following the podcast in the private Facebook group as well as the public Facebook page. You don't want to miss, please. Do you not know about the private group? You have to join the private group. As of this recording, it has 74,000 members. They're active, talking about diabetes. Whatever you need to know, there's a conversation happening in there right now. And I'm there all the time. Tag me. I'll say hi. If you'd like to hear about diabetes management in easy to take in bits, check out the Small Sips. That's the series on the Juicebox Podcast that listeners are talking about like it's a cheat code. These are perfect little bursts of clarity, one person said. I finally understood things I've heard 100 times. Short, simple, and somehow exactly what I needed. People say Small Sips feels like someone pulling up a chair, sliding a cup across the table, and giving you one clean idea at a time. Nothing overwhelming, no fire hose of information, just steady, helpful nudges that actually stick. People listen in their car, on walks, or while they're actually bolusing, anytime that they need a quick shot of perspective. And the reviews, they all say the same thing. Small Sips makes diabetes make sense. Search for the Juicebox Podcast, Small Sips, wherever you get audio. If you have a podcast and you need a fantastic editor, you want Rob from Wrong Way Recording. Listen, truth be told, I'm like 20% smarter when Rob edits me. He takes out all the gaps of time and when I go, and stuff like that. And it just, I don't know, man. I listen back and I'm like, why do I sound smarter? And then I remember, because I did one smart thing. I hired Rob at wrongwayrecording.com.